Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today I have a repotting and staking video for you. I've been having some trouble, for some reason, I don't know, with this Philodendron Brasil. It's not doing all that great for me in this pot with this stake in the position it is in my room. I think it's a little bit too dark, even though it does have lights, grow lights and a normal light on the ground by the side of it. It's by other plants against the wall, and it's quite close to the window, even though we don't get direct light. But it still doesn't seem to be all that good. And my patience runs short because I want the plants that I want to be growing up these stakes to grow fast. And all the other plants that I've staked up, oh my gosh, they grow so fast. Some of them have grown like a meter in a month. So what I've decided to do with this beautiful Philodendron hederaceum Brasil is take it out, put it in a pot and have it as a spiller. That way, there's no stress for this plant to have to perform and climb up. It can just bush out, it can trail down, and I can just enjoy it as it is. But like this, I'm just looking at a brown pole and there's nothing going on. And I can't take that anymore. So I've got to get all this out, and what I'm going to be planting in here instead is this beautiful plant here. This is Skindapsus Moonlight, and I already have long pieces that I will be able to stake up. I have some more even longer pieces, so I should be able to stake this up already to around about a meter high, and then we're almost halfway there. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this video. So the first thing I need to just do is get on and get this plant clipped back off the pole, taken out and put to the side for the minute so that I can get repotting and staking this beautiful plant here. So the first thing I'm going to get on and do is just clip off all of the twine that's holding these longer pieces up so that we free the plant completely. This Philodendron hederaceum Brasil has been in this pot for a very short amount of time, so there's no risk of any roots having already got caught up into this coconut fibre stake. So it's going to be easy for me to remove this plant. Oh, and a piece just fell down straight away like that. I think I've got all of the twine off now. So now I can just start pulling this plant up. I just have a normal spoon here to help me. But I think I can just pull these pieces up quite easily with no trouble. It's just going to be messy, that's all. There's the first piece, nice big piece. And this plant is going to look beautiful once it's in a pot where it just bushes out and it's not made, oh, I just chucked a load of soil on myself. I didn't realise I had a spoonful of soil. Anyway, so it doesn't feel like it's got to climb up this and stretch out when it doesn't really want to. See, there's another thin piece. So I'll be able to just enjoy the plant the way it is now. And that transformation will probably be really, really nice because this plant is actually looking quite nice in certain parts. That's for sure. So, a few brownie leaves that are just falling off, and that's absolutely fine and normal, especially because it was in a position, as I said, that was a bit too dark for it, I think, to be able to perform better. This part, there's not, well, there's still viable roots. There's no leaves, there's viable roots, so I'm going to keep those roots. You can put those in the pot and it will probably flush out. These leaves fell off. Another bit here. Another bit here. That's beautiful. They're looking just a little bit pale, some of the leaves, and they're losing that lovely yellow streak. It's becoming more light green. So it's actually reverting back to greener tones to try and produce more chlorophyll, to try and produce more food because it's not getting enough light. So I definitely know this plant needs to be moved somewhere else better. Another beautiful piece here. While I'm at it, I might as well give you a closer look. Look at that. They are beautiful. They're just small and they're not willing to climb at the moment. So trailing plant, bushy plant it will be, and that's fine. So I think I've got the last piece here to come out. Yellow leaf. Not much roots on that one though. But the leaves are big and nice, so that's interesting. Leave that there. And the last piece, and that's it. Now I've got the Philodendron hederaceum Brasil out of the pot. I can start repotting my Skindapsus Moonlight, but I just want to take some of this soil out, even though it's also not old. I just want to take it out and put a little bit more fresh soil in that I've already mixed. A good potting mix, lots of perlite and lots of bark to mix it up and aerate the soil and help it to dry out so it doesn't get too clogged down. And then this plant should be very happy in that. So let me just get this sorted out. Just take handfuls out and straight into a bag I have down here. I'm also taking the top around 3 inches of soil out of this pot because if there are any insect larvae in the pot, for example, fungus gnat larvae, they will be lying around in the top 3 inches of the soil. So we might as well take that out and put fresh soil in for these new plants that are coming. And then on top of all that, I will be putting a good 2 inches of leca balls to protect the soil and stop any of those insects maybe wanting to come back and repopulate this soil. I haven't seen a single fly or anything fly out, so this plant has been fine, but it's just a little extra caution. You can do that, and also just to freshen up the soil, of course. So that was quite enough. So now I just want to start getting these Skindapsus Moonlight out of the pots, and they are pretty pop out. Oh, that came out, and wow, it's got beautiful roots. Gosh, I'm making a mess all over my floor here. I'm going to have a real good tidy up after all of this again. It's always good to have a good excuse to get in with the hoover and tidy up around your plants. Anyway, so look at those roots, beautiful. Got to break this up, get this plant in here and start staking up the tallest ones as quick as possible. Wow, these are extremely rooted, that it's really difficult for me to actually get it out. So I might have to just plant it as is. Just break out the roots a bit so they have a chance to get into the new pot. This might look a bit rough, but if they're all wrapped around each other like that, then it's not very good. It will actually help the plant better to have all this freed out. Now look at that, isn't it better? Freed out the roots a little bit more. That's much better for the plant. I'm just going to put it, I'm actually just going to plant it like that. So I'm going to have to take a little bit more soil out here because this is not going to be deep enough now. And make a hole for the first batch. Is this possible for me at all? Roots. I need to kind of squeeze these roots together to get them around in here and move the soil much more from in the pot down here, because there's a pot in here, the plastic pot, that doesn't go all the way to the bottom of this pot we're in here, because that's not what I wanted. Okay, well there's my one, and I'm going to stake this first one up first so I can see what I'm doing and see the space I have. It's all going to have a good washing off and everything after because there's soil just all over the place. But I can't do anything about that right now. Just to let you know, I did go out and rinse these plants off really well in my bath. They've had time to dry and now I'm doing this. So I know that I cleaned them off as much as I could before I brought them in to do this. So let's start twining up. Find the tallest piece or pieces and get them so that they're not all around each other. So for example, there's a lovely tall piece here. Just get that onto the stake to start with. This could be difficult, so I've got to hold it as well as make a knot. So that's the first one. And some more to hold it in place, of course, here. Now I can go down closer to the bottom to get this piece. I can see these leaves are around each other like that, where they shouldn't be. So like that. Get this piece to stay as close to the stake as possible. So above that leaf, and pull this in as I want it, like that. It's got plenty of space to grow, but it's supported. That's the main thing. And a little bit more here to support it, so I can see. Use this piece that I already had chopped. Don't waste it. So there's my first piece. And as I said, don't worry about the dirt and the dust for now. We haven't got time for all that. We've just got to get all these binding pieces up first. My next piece is another very long piece here. Absolutely beautiful. Perfect. This is just perfect. It's looking bushy straight away, and that is what I wanted in this pot. That one's a bit tighter, so I can actually wait with tying up more of that until I got the third piece here. I can see that's pretty big, and all around all those other leaves, we need to get it the right way, in the right spot, so that all the leaves that are at the bottom can lay down flat and look beautiful at the same time. So this one comes in here. Oh, this is a lovely big long one. These leaves will turn around the right way at the same time later on, so don't worry about that. Now I need to keep going here because I have another plant that I'll be putting around the back, I need to remember. So I might as well keep going here, so we get a very bushy effect straight away at the front. So it feels like around here could be a good supporting point. Then I can get all three of them in to this tie all in one go. This one's very long, so it's falling, so I need to find out where the point is that it needs to be helped, which is all the way down at the bottom first. So I can help that and the others at the same time. So I get my twine in there, see where I want to put it around the other ones. That's it, there. Move this leaf out of the way, get that close to the stake, and then we'll get that instant bushy effect straight away. This is just, oh, and make sure that leaves don't get stuck in the back. Lovely air roots as well hanging out here and there, so that's perfect. This plant's going to love this stake here with all this fibre on it. So, and then another one in the middle to hold that up. This is just looking amazing straight away. Don't you just think this is looking great already? And this is just one pot. So another one up here just to tie this bit together because it's also very long. There are lots of lovely aerial roots up here. That's perfect, really. Perfect to see. Yep. Try and dust off these leaves just a little bit for the sake of you out there so the viewers can see it better. So, wow, look at that. And down here, there are new ones coming up that will eventually be able to be staked up with the post as well, or allowed to trail a little bit down. Now, isn't this just starting to look amazing already? One pot, lovely and bushy down here. There are longer pieces coming out already that at some point I'll be able to train up when they get long enough to stake up. Until then, they will be trailing down for a little bit. So we get a lovely effect all the way up and around. So now I just need to get on with putting some more in on the other side. So let me see, once again, huge roots in this pot. So this time I've been able to split up the pot much more and get more pieces out where I can fit them in around here and into this pot here. like that. Remember, I haven't put any new soil in properly yet. What? There's something else growing down here, or there are different leaves. What is that? If it's the same plant, it's growing very different, thin, long leaves, and I'll have to show you that in a close-up later. So let me just get this one staked up first, because it's beautiful. First bit of her. Next one to hold her in place because she's quite long, so she's going to be flopping out. So get another one here where I can see that she needs it. 2 pieces to hold her up, and then another one down here, but I'm going to wait until I put the next piece in now. Need to make space down here. Another couple of beautiful long pieces here. Which way is facing forward most? That way. So in with the root ball this way. These plants here have such big healthy roots that they have a really good start. So even with all this roughing around, because they've got the roots and they'll have some decent soil, they should bounce back from this very forgivingly. That's what I'm expecting. But I know that my Philodendron hederaceum Brasil had very little roots to start with, very little roots. And, well, it probably wasn't enough to support it in the situation it was in. So we'll make that better after. So here we go, look at this. I had a piece that was just hanging around the rest, obviously snapped off at some point, and it's just been floating around. A beautiful, healthy piece, look at that. That is ready for you to go and propagate into a new plant. There's no problem with that. There are aerial roots nearly with every single leaf. So I can make a lovely, beautiful new plant out of this. So I'm looking forward to that. So get this one in, where there's a gap now. So nice that it's so thick and bushy already down here. It is so nice. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Now, if I can hold it in the right place, I can get the twine in, tie her up. Now, in the beginning here, don't worry about using lots of twine here and there to try and keep it together. That's fine. Because if you twine your plant close to the stake it's on, in a short amount of time, the air roots will start flushing out and they'll be able to latch on to your fibre on the stake, and then you'll be able to release some of those twine. So it's not a problem. Lovely. This is just looking so good now. I've got another one here I forgot. That needs to go there, so I'll just get a piece of twine again. Where was it now? It was here. Well, that looks beautiful there. So we're really getting there now. This side looks pretty full and lovely. If there's anything that's not looking so good, there's a new leaf here that's pretty damaged, cut it off, because you're just going to encourage the plant to produce new leaves anyway. Any damaged leaves, you can take those off. Don't worry about it. Just be relaxed, enjoy it, enjoy your plant, see what's happening with it, and go with the flow. This is just lovely. I'm so happy. So where do I have a space? I have a space here. I have a space here. So I'm going to put another piece in there. I still have more pieces down here. Let's have a little look what's nice and long. So I have this long piece here that I can put in there too. Roots coming out all over the bottom area. Lovely, perfect. I'm just loving that it has such big roots because I know that these plants are just going to do so well then. Just get them all in there, top it off with soil later. Press it in. And then I've got 2 more pieces of lovely vines here that I needed in this area. I can get them around the right way behind all the other leaves. That can be difficult at times. So that's the right way around. So Try and get this one to hang on to that leaf a minute, just until I get to it. And this one here too. Right, twine. So, and then I have another piece here. Oh, I need to put it up a little bit more. That is just starting to look beautiful. Full, just wonderful. Have a look all the way around here. That is just lovely. I have a gap here. I have a gap here, so I need to put another one in here. Why not? Yes, see if I have another long one here. So, look at this piece. This one also needs to go in that pot because it is just gorgeous. And this is the last one. Look at those roots. They're just beautiful. This plant is just going to take off. I didn't realise I had a big gap here. So that's perfect for this. I've made it a bit difficult for myself because I didn't get twine ready first. So they're going to have to fall onto my lap a little bit. Get twine. Oh, sort them out first. Right, get these back. Get these back on track. Stake them up first, and then I'll sort out the rest of it after, just to get them in where I need them to be. So, now I just need to twine up more around the bottom to tighten it up together, so I can start getting in and putting some more soil in. This is difficult to see where all of these vines are now to pull them in. So I'm just going to have to go for it kind of here and there and get in where I can, under and over leaves. Very difficult, but where there's a will, there's always a way. I'm not worried about losing leaves at the moment, some leaves. It's more important to get this plant sorted out so that it can start doing its proper growing and that afterwards. Just get it all staked in first, because those leaves and that will bounce back. Right, that was a bit more. So there are some leaves that need to be sorted out. There's a broken leaf there. I've got a brownie leaf here, not nice. I'll just take that off straight away. And now I can see most of it is looking so good and lush and thick, with lots of potential for more growth all over. I'm just loving that. I think that's it for now. Have a little look, turn it around and around. I don't need to put any more pieces in, and I don't really need to, I just need to tie up here a little bit more at the top, but you can't see that on camera because it's a little bit higher. So I will do that, and I just want to, any leaf that's kind of really brown at the end, I'll just take those off. Check around any leaves that are damaged that might be half falling off as they are. Make sure that's not happening. But most of this plant really does look good. So there are some damaged leaves. There's one here. Take that off. Also, when they're at the top of a stem, it's really good because it's just going to flush out new growth. That's what happens. This end here is quite bashed. And I'm just going to take all of that off, actually. All of that end. It's quite bashed up. That is just going to flush out a new top piece, and that will be wonderful then. This was a really good transformation from my Philodendron hederaceum Brasil that was in here. These leaves here are falling off, so I'll just take those off to there, and that will grow out a new top. To this beautiful Skindapsus Moonlight that is just really beautiful. So what I need to do now is just put a lot of soil around the roots at the bottom here and make sure they're all protected. So I'll do that quickly now. Got my soil here, so let's just get on with this. I am getting so much mess everywhere. So much mess. Oh, but I always think it's worth it in the end. Some of the roots were quite high up, so I had to fill up the soil above the edge of the pot to make sure I protect all these roots. And I've just, made that trench around the edge so that when I water, it doesn't just go straight out over the edge all over the floor. But that doesn't leave any room for lecker balls. It's just going to have to stay how it is. And I think it will be fine like that because there is just so much thickness going on around here. We'll see how it goes. So now that's the initial planting of this plant done. I'm just going to do some tidying up and then I'll be ready to take you in for a closer look. But before I do that, I just want to show you. Look at these. These are small pieces that I have left over. These pieces I can propagate and make into new plants, and I just can't wait for that. That's wonderful. So I have this plant here and I'll have more. Great. And also to show you, this is my Philodendron hederaceum Brasil that I took out the pot. All these pieces still look wonderful, look. So they're still wonderful pieces that I'm going to put together into a lovely pot on their own and make them look lovely as a normal little bushy plant and a thriller instead. So I think that's just going to be great. So let me get sorted out and I'll be back with a close-up of everything that's happened. So here you go. You can see this absolutely fantastic looking Skindapsus treubii Moonlight. And you can see why it's called Moonlight with all these beautiful silvery tones in the leaves. And you can see the darker veining and the lighter colour. And the shape of the leaves, they've got this magical shape to them and this magical tone. They're very smooth, but at the same time quite thick. And this plant grows very fast if it's happy. So already being almost a metre high, I'm expecting this plant to just do so well for me and race right up to the top of this 3 metre high stake. Well, actually it's not 3 metres high because I have a pot that's almost a metre high at the bottom. So a 2 metre high plant in all, but 3 metres from floor to ceiling. And look at this leaf as I talk. Look at this. I just sprayed them off a little bit before to clean them, but you can see that wonderful silver and that wonderful dark green, and the texture, the tones are lovely. So now I also want to get myself the dark version of this, which I haven't seen at the moment, but when I do, there'll be no stopping me. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing this absolutely beautiful Skindapsus Moonlight transformed from 2 small pots to this big bushy pot here that is vining up already 60 centimetres, maybe more, and full of leaves and looks beautiful, and it's just going to carry on and it will be up to the top of this stake by next summer, I'm sure, because my other Skindapsus pictus exotica is just trailing along the wall. My Skindapsus pictus Ann is looking beautiful on a little stake, and this is just so exciting and so beautiful. And another exciting thing about all this is that I had extra pieces that I could propagate and an extra long piece that I kept as a separate plant on its own, put into another pot, and I'm going to show you that now. Look at this. There we go. I got to keep one piece that had 2 vines on it, and I put it in a pot on its own, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I had space to put lecker balls in the top to protect the soil. And this plant is just going to be wonderful in this pot. And look at it all the way around. Look at the vines. I've pruned off the ends because I don't want this vining longer. I want it to stay around this size and I want it to bush out from the middle and stay like this as a bushing example and not a vining up example or trailing down too long. I just think it looks wonderful, and it's another way of putting the same plant. So you can see it as a big, huge, tall vining plant and as a small trailing plant. All that from 2 pots. It's absolutely unbelievable what you can do when you get these kind of vining plants. They are so perfect for doing different designs, having in different ways, and they just look wonderful. So I just want to show you the propagations now. So here we have it. These are all the small pieces that I had left, bits of leaves, bits of stem that snapped off. Some already had roots, some have no roots. I've just put them in here together because I'm sure that having the ones with roots in here already, in with the other ones without, that is going to stimulate the other ones to produce roots quicker. And I have many different cuttings in here. Let's look at that closer. Absolutely perfect, absolutely beautiful. Look at the roots. So it's wonderful. It's going to look nice like that. You can keep these plants in water as well. Just let this fill up with roots and let it stay like that. But if you do that, after a certain point, those roots will be water roots that aren't viable for soil. They won't be strong enough and they could just rot away. So after a short amount of time, when all the other stems here have got roots, I'll be able to plant this out into different pots as well. Isn't it amazing that you can get all of this from 2 pots? When they're together and they're wrapped around each other when you're in the plant nursery, you can't see the whole of it. But I always go in and see, are they wrapped around? Are they folded up and down? And most of the time they are, so that they can make space in the nurseries. And you can just pull all that out and make all these different things from that pot. It's just amazing. So that's all I have for you for this video and the repotting of my wonderful Skindapsus Moonlight, and 3 different examples of what you can do with a couple of pots that you go and buy in a nursery. And I mean, it's nearly unbelievable that I got all of this out of 2 pots, right? But I did. So all I have to say now is thank you once again for watching this Gardens and Crystals video with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be uploaded. And I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.